Throw down your bow. You may call me Eleonora Viltaria. Your turn.
Lord Tigra Vermid Vorn.
Very well. From this day forward, you are now my property.
Bertrand! Lord Mashas! The battle... it was terrible. So that's a war maiden. From the sound of it, I've got 5 shots.
The last Brunish survivor's mine!
Oh, rats, come on. I could have used that horse to ride out of here. 7 nights. That hair. The War Maiden. If I kill her right now myself, perhaps they'll stop hunting Brunish survivors. All right. Range 300 Elsins. Easy. Guide my arrow, Eris, goddess of wind.
Throw down your bow!
War had broken out between the kingdoms of Brune and Shikted, and the Dainan plains that lay between the two lands would see the decisive battle. So it was that the Brunish army, with an overwhelming advantage in numbers, established camp. There wasn't a man among them who thought they could lose.
Of course.
Well, I didn't know you'd be here, Vorn.
My greetings, from one lord to another. Lord Zion Thenardier, I too have answered His Majesty's call to defeat the
Such a
Jictet.
demure way of talking back. What good are you here among men like us? The poor fool is built like a feather and covered in rags.
Leather armor.
Shouldn't a nobleman at least dress the part?
And that bow. The weapon of a peasant!
No, Lord Zion!
Are you hurt?
What gives you the right to bend my bow?
You're pathetic.
A bow and arrow is a coward's weapon.
Oh, Vorn. Why don't you admit the reason you use a bow is because you're not strong enough to wield a real weapon. You're a boy pretending to be a soldier. And having an old man for an attendant only makes you that much more of a disgrace. In battle, there's only one way to defend Brune. You should be training with a man's weapon.
Maybe this can wait. I hate to interrupt this eloquent lecture, but they're handing out the evening's wine rations now. I assume your talking has made you quite thirsty. Go fill your goblet, please.
I appreciate the assist. Thanks, Lord Mashas.
Happy to do so.
Guess I couldn't help escalating things, but you saved me from a nasty fight.
If you ask me, I envy Duke Ganelon.
What? Why?
For using this war as a pretense to raise taxes, and for taking his enemy's daughters.
That's true. Duke Thenardier is just as crafty, making subjects donate their liquor as a sacrifice to the gods. And both are torching the homes of anyone who holds out.
That's nothing. I've heard that to set an example to others. Duke Thenardier's forcing family members to take up swords and fight to the death.
How entertaining!
Not worth it.
Are those stories they're telling true?
The men in question wouldn't deny it. It's news to you because you don't travel through the middle of the kingdom very often.
And the king?
His Majesty has something in mind for them, I'm sure.
Like a punishment?
And even if he can't, I'm sure in time Prince Regnus will possess the strength.
You've been sleeping long enough.
Is it late?
It's almost noon.
That's a strange way of waking people up.
Well, having to wake a slave by shoving a sword down his throat is a first for me, too. How can you lose a battle, become a prisoner, and still sleep without a care in the world?
It's one of my magic powers. So, this is the kingdom of Jictet?
Lady Eleonora would like to see you.
What? No! But how could Jictet capture him so easily?
We suffered a total rout in a sneak attack. Tigra couldn't flee in time, but he fought well.
But I thought that... I heard our forces outnumbered Jictet 5-1. How could we lose so decisively?
You're right. We had an army 25,000 strong to only their 5,000. It was a mighty force His Majesty had assembled in honor of the Prince's debut campaign.
Lord Tigra was so ready. He had 100 brave bannermen following him into battle.
The battle wasn't the only thing lost. Of those 100 men, 7 are dead and 30 injured. And most of those were trampled by our own fleeing allies.
We received the following demand from the enemy leader. Unless we deliver a ransom within 50 days, Tigra will become Jicted's property forever.
How much do they want? Even if it's exorbitant, I'm sure we can get the villagers to chip in.
They demand 3 times the yearly revenue of the province of Alsace, or something of comparable value.
Be reasonable. That's way too high.
Too bad.
The Kingdom of Brune has 50 days to comply with our ransom demand after receiving it. Time's a-wasting.
If the full amount we've requested is not delivered to me in accordance with the treaty, you will officially become my property for me to do with as I see fit. This I swear in the name of Radagast, God of Honor and Contracts.
Well, all right. This is why you stuck your sword in my mouth and brought me here, so I could hear your crazy greed with my own ears.
Now. There's more to our talking than ransom. I have something special only you can do for me.
That's 2 now that he's missed!
You better be taking this seriously.
I am, don't worry.
Is this your first time with a bow, sir?
Now that's cutting with a knife for you, Rick.
Of all the prisoners, why would the War Maiden bring back this weakling?
Looks like he's gonna keep embarrassing himself. Useless and a glutton.
This
for
entire
punishment.
demonstration is a farce.
His first shot was way too short. His second was way too long.
That means on his third try, he'll shoot himself in the foot.
I've got a feel for this bow's limits. Here goes. Get down! Assassin!
Arifal.
I want him skinned alive.
I mean, no insult, but can they take him alive?
Who do you think you are telling me what to do here?
Fine, then I'll hit his foot.
His aim is unreal! And he did it with a bad bow, too!
He hit a moving target from well over 300 Alsons away.
Just so we're clear, do you want me to keep shooting?
I think I've seen enough. You're quite a talent, Lord Tigra Vermid Vorn. My apologies for yesterday.
Wait, for what?
The bow they gave you. It was never my intention for you to receive one that shoddily constructed.
So, you weren't trying to make me look bad. It was shoddy Jigted craftsmanship.
No, the 3 men who made the bow did want to sabotage you. I'll have them beheaded.
Whoa, hold on! It was a harmless prank. No one got hurt.
That was more than a prank. They wanted to humiliate you and bring dishonor to your people and your family. Custom demands that they pay for the scheme with their lives.
Then I beg you, please show them mercy.
This one time.
So, what was the point of having me show off my skills in the first place?
You see, she...
The War Maiden fell for me at first sight?
That's right. You could call it battlefield passion, an affection that only comes between close enemies. You know how people love gossiping about palace intrigue. And they're not wrong to do so. I really am mad for you, you know.
For me?
Not for your looks or personality. I'm attracted to your skill with the bow and arrow. But anyway, I guess some of my men heard the gossip and were feeling a bit jealous of you. Instead of finding a place for you by my side, they'd rather I kill you.
Killing him would probably be the easiest thing, but that's just my opinion.
The army ranks are full of hotheads. I thought having you show off your skills would be the quickest way to change their opinions of you. Ultimately, it was effective. And one more thing, since I'm being honest. Beyond your bow skills, the reason I took you prisoner at the Dynant Plains was not for a ransom. Mostly it was because I found you entertaining.
Entertaining how? In a battle?
Despite the win, that battle was still nasty business. As well as being a complete and total waste. We numbered just 5,000, against your side's 25. I braced myself for a brutal battle. From the start of our charge, the battle should have gone on a day.
You say that like you're disappointed.
I prepared a number of plans I was excited to try. And yet your side collapsed for my first plan right as the battle began.
Your first plan, huh? Nighttime sneak attack.
Thanks to the reconnaissance our scouts had carried out, we surprised the Brunish rearguard and scattered their troops. In that melee, the Brunish prince was killed.
You mean Prince Regnus?
Were you two close friends?
Not at all. I only met him once in my whole life.
Do you hold his death against me?
It happened in battle. I killed some of your men myself, you know.
Yes, I'm sure. Once news of his death got around, the Brunish army came apart at the seams. I didn't want them to regroup for another day, so I pursued, cutting them down as they fled. And so it was, all my great plans went unused. But in that moment, you flew onto the scene. In spite of your allegiances, I didn't want to kill you. Brune's army turned out to be a paper tiger, but you kept your courage and stayed in the fight, even tried to shoot me down with your bow. I have a weakness for such metal, so I brought you to light merits in Shikted. Lim, are you holding a grudge against him for what happened on the battlefield?
I promise the battle had nothing to do with it.
I'm not sure I believe that. Remember that first horse you shot down? Lim was the rider.
Why don't we start over? I am the War Maiden's bodyguard, Limalicia. Count Tigre Vermudvorn. It's a pleasure to meet you.
Hello?
You know, if I'm being honest, your name, it sounds like a mouthful for a traditional Brunishman. Is there a fun story behind it?
Well, it's the name of one of my ancestors. If it's too hard to say, you can always call me Tigra.
Tigra it is, and feel free to call me Ellen. I also think that we
Lady Eleonora!
Tigra, will you serve under me? I will treat you as a count, just as you were in Brune. And valor you show in combat will be honored like that of any other pure-born Jikted warrior.
Thanks, but no. I'm honored you would ask, and I'm pretty sure an offer like this would never happen if the roles were reversed in Brune.
So why are you refusing to take my hand?
I already have a home I need to get back to, one I swore to protect. Alsace. It's a Brunish province I inherited from my father.
Oh, Lord Tigra, don't die on me.
You must stop shaving your head, Rierik. That shiny orb is going to blind somebody. Plus, the look's not doing your handsome features any favors.
I'll say this for the last time. For trying to embarrass you on the archery range, the War Maiden made me sacrifice my gorgeous hair as penance. By all rights, my head should be on the chopping block. But Lord Tigre Vermudvorn, since I've been allowed to live thanks in part to you, I shall continue to make this offering. And I honestly admire your bow skill. It puts my own abilities to shame. You're a master, and I, a foolish novice who tried to humiliate you.
Okay.
So please, don't ask me to cease my
penance. You can stand up now. I'm sorry I brought it up.
There they go again. I've never seen a man as polite as Master Uric. Agreed. And Lord Tigre Vermid's marksmanship does deserve that praise. He's very impressive. And cute.
I eat this every day, and it's always great.
I sometimes forget how foreign you are. There's nothing special about this food, it's standard soldier fare.
And that's the best part. Whenever I get back home, it'll be easy enough for Tita to make.
How does he hit with 3 arrows at once? Maybe he's a magic archer.
Lord Tigra, please give us another lesson soon.
Of course. I'm finally fitting in around here. But a prisoner is still a prisoner. Is that... a baby dragon? I've never seen one.
That's my pet. His name is Looney. Hello.
Sorry, I didn't see anything. I had found this place when walking around before. I didn't think anyone else used it. So,
There's nothing to be sorry about. After all, you came here to bathe too, right? Now turn around and look me in the eyes.
So, here in your country, it's custom for men and women to take baths in front of each other?
Actually, it's not. I'm not saying I'm not embarrassed. But I'm a war maiden, aren't I? If I'm caught off guard, even naked, I can't run away and cower like a shy country girl. Even if deep down my brain's telling me to do just that. I want you, Lord Tigra.
This place is just so different. She says she wants me. Well... Huh?
The guards have seized an old man with a Brunish accent.
Bertrand!
Oh, young master. Thank goodness you're safe.
Thank goodness you're safe.
So you do know this sad old man?
Yes, of course I do. Bertrand's been my attendant since I was just a kid.
My lord, there's no time to reminisce.
Huh?
Thénardier has gathered a force and is marching on your province of Alsace. They number 3,000 men.
He's doing what?
Get back here! You can't leave, you're our prisoner!
Good evening, Tigra. Where do you think you're going?
Get out of my way.
May as well meet your end here. Episode 2, The Return Home. Watch it.
While fighting here in Alsace, we struck down 300 knights. Those who managed to retreat and evade our pursuit are probably regrouping with the main Thénardier force as we speak.
What about their commander, Lord Zion?
Unfortunately, he's one of the men who escaped.
Damn. Missed opportunity. If we believe that his force started at 3,000, that means they're still 2,700 strong.
The bare minimum needed to protect this town is 100. That leaves us just 900 for battle.
Bottom line, they still outnumber us 3 to 1. How far do you think Zion will flee?
Probably to here. In the Moleshine Plains. The terrain will help make their knights more effective in combat.
Good. Then that's where we shall meet them. They'll pay for what they've done.
Let's finish the job.
Wait, that was the Jicted army? That's insane! What would they be doing all the way over here? Vorn. Wait a second, now I see it. It's him! He's the one behind this! That inexperienced, arrow-loving little boy! Send out more scouts! They're not to return until they know the size of the Jicted army! Sir! And I'm certain he's the one who betrayed our position at the Dynant Plains, too! That treacherous, arrow-shooting, pink-haired rat! You watch, Vorn. You're done disrespecting me!
Lord Zion Thenardier divided his remaining 2,700 men into 3 groups. The first numbered 700. These were light infantry armed with bows and spears. The second group was comprised of 1,000 heavy knights in steel-plate armor and carrying lances. The last 1,000 formed the main battle force, a traditional Brunish company trained to fight and win on grassy plains. And then there were his trump cards. Zion's 2 dragons.
If it's frayed, we'll weave it again! We're collecting rope! It's to fight Thenardier!
Good luck.
Thank you, every little bit helps.
Lord Tigra will put it all to good use. Such a smart lad. That'll show those Thenardier goons not to mess with Alsace.
Whatever we can do to help Lord Tigra, we will.
Thanks for your loyalty!
Tigra and I will lead a company of 400 men. Liam, you're in command of the other 500. Hold out for an opening and then hit them hard. Anything you'd like to change?
Well, I think we could use some rope. Doesn't matter if it's old or frayed, we'll double it up. I just need a lot.
Some rope, okay.
I can handle that, no problem.
Are you sure?
I can ask all the townspeople. I'm happy to help.
I'm not going to say no.
Are you and Lord Tigra, some... Are you and Lord Tigra in some kind of secret romantic relationship, milady?
Well, he does sort of belong to me now.
Yes, she's right. Technically, for the time being.
Oh no, not just for the time being. By the terms of the treaty, you belong to me in perpetuity.
All right, that may be true on paper, but I think we can all agree beating Zion comes first right now.
I won't be outdone by
her! She won't be outdone.
Lady Eleonora.
Right, back to business.
In that case, what will you do with those spare horses we brought?
Spare horses?
We were planning to leave them in the town of Celestat. Is that a problem?
No, but I may have a better use for them.
For a Brunishman, he does have interesting ideas.
Young master!
You're here, at last!
Oh, be nice.
Ha ha ha! Being your arrow boy means I can't even wield a sword.
Don't worry. As long as you remain behind us, you won't be on the stabbing end of anything. Isn't that right?
That's right. Of course, I won't let you get hurt either, as long as I'm in this fight.
Although outnumbered by enemies, Lady Eleonora ordered 400 of her mounted knights to hit the Thénardier front lines. And she, along with Lord Tigre, will lead the charge. The two armies march toward one another, a clash of arms, a field of blood, mere seconds away.
Are you scared?
Sure, a little. But I'm more afraid that we might lose.
That's good to hear. I'm the same.
Surprised to hear you say that.
It's a compliment. I'm being sincere.
Danseuse of the Sword, Wind Princess of the Silver Flash. We can't afford to be outdone, Bertrand. Aye.
This is revenge for the Diamond Blades!
Young master!
Dragon, and it's brass-colored. I can't imagine trying to tame one of those.
The Thénardier forces march their land dragon ahead using knights to bolster their flanks. Hemmed in, the Jected cavalry can't pass the beast. The plains soon fill with their blood and echo with their screams.
Armor.
Thorn, your arrows can't save you now! That dragon is going to crush your skull and rip your limbs off! That is your fate as a traitor!
My lord! They're ambushing the second column's flank!
Your Dynamite Plains tricks won't work this time! Send 400 men from the flying column!
Don't let up! It's going just as we planned!
Dividing the Jected army in two pays off. Lim charges 400 men into the Thénardier flank. In the melee, a path clears for Ellen to face down the land dragon one-on-one.
I didn't expect to fight a dragon, so to mark the big day, I'll show you a very special move.
Alan, what?
Now let's finish this battle.
Well, that was something I didn't expect.
Of course you didn't. I don't play all of my cards at once. It's quite forceful, so I don't use it around people if I can avoid it.
Belay, Atmos.
Lim, the enemy is moving forces from its flying column.
Then that's our cue to fall back, just as we planned.
Yes, ma'am!
Zion sends 400 men to form a fast-moving infantry brigade known as the Flying Column. In response, Lim denies them a fight and withdraws her own force to the hills.
We have them on the run! Cut down those fools, and the battle will be ours!
Fall down. Because you only look at who you're fighting, not where. Our foreign army wouldn't have collected what we did, had Zion not treated his fellow Brunishmen so poorly. Lord Tigra Vermudvorn has a close connection with the common folk of Alsace. And there's one more who trusts him.
It's almost time!
That's right. It's time for an ambush.
Enemy forces are behind us. A whole other army, 2,000!
2,000 men? I have barely 600 left in my main force. We're cut off in the rear, and outnumbered.
There's still hope. Send in the Flying Dragon.
Do what? You idiot! She made mincemeat out of the land dragon! Split it, just like an apple! I'm not going to watch you do that to this one, too! After all, it's me my father will blame, not you! Think, Zion Thenardier, you could do this? What is the commander's first duty? The bravest thing I could do is to protect the... That's it! Save myself! Bring the second column around! We retreat now!
Lord Zion, sir, give us a chance to fight them off. If our knights on the front line can hold their ground long enough for us to regroup and strike, we can still get... Sir, not in front of the men.
Get the knights to stand down right away! Do it!
What Zion had not realized, no, what he could not realize, was that the enemy troops to his rear were just 100 men. It was the horses that numbered 2,000. Lord Tigra used the terrain and setting sun to create the illusion of reinforcements.
Did you say retreat? We can still win this battle. What the hell's gotten into them?
Sir, there's a huge enemy force approaching from behind. This order comes down from Lord Zion himself.
That idiot's son is an embarrassment.
Honor and duty meant the knights of the House of Thenardier had no choice but to obey. And with their sudden pullback from the front lines, the momentum shifts in Ellen and Tigra's favor.
The main force is starting to buckle too. All our lines are collapsing. Why didn't he send the dragon?
This is a bad dream. It's the only explanation. How else could that Thorn, stupid, arrogant boy defeat me? And now he's here.
You started this fight. You don't get to run away. Zion Thenardier.
Run away? Don't be ridiculous! How could you betray your country? You led the Jicted army right to the Brunish heartland! You really are descended from nothing but illiterate, cowardly huntsmen!
If you're blaming people, start with yourself.
How dare you!
You hurt your own innocent countrymen. Burn their homes. Steal their property. You're not a lord, you're just a thief.
My own countrymen? And what about those fools? They're just like plants. I can cut them down all I want and they'll grow right back! So why the hell do you care?
That bastard.
You're not helping your cause, Lord Zion, but it doesn't matter. You're unforgivable. You marched your army onto my lands, tormented my people!
Disrespect me? You've got more nerve than sense. Thorn, I challenge you to a duel! You wanted a fight, didn't you? Don't try to run away!
He's gone insane. Wait, Tigra! You're not dueling him! All right. This battle is yours and yours alone.
Where's your weapon, traitor? I'm sure your new friends of the Jicted army would be happy to loan you a spear or a sword.
Here's the only weapon I need.
Is this a joke to you? You can't think you'll win a duel with just a bow and arrow. It's supposed to be one-on-one with swords. A long range.
Let's put it to a test.
Serious? You see? It's not for dueling. Keep on wasting those arrows, dummy. You're boring me, Vorn! It's impossible to have a real duel as long as you insist on using that coward's weapon! I'm ending this charade and your life! Your head is going on my lance! Ah! You had no honor in life, Vorn, and you'll get none in death! This can't be! I hate you, bastard!
Young master!
To hit that same spot on the shield only as a moving target. Such a spectacle makes me want him even more.
Save Lord Zion!
Protect Lord Tigra! I wasn't sure how that would go.
Well, neither was I.
You and your precious Alsace can enjoy the privilege of being crushed under my father's boots! I've got better things to do than die fighting you!
He's climbing too high and fast for my wind blades to reach.
Are we just going to stand here? Watch him fly away?
Shoot the dragon. I'll say it again. Shoot the dragon.
Did you just talk?
others know your strength?
With its commander's death, the Thénardier army lost its will to fight and melted away into the countryside. And so it was that Alsace was successfully defended.
Couldn't very well turn away a war maiden, now could I? Episode 4. Michaeli.
Finally! I knew you'd come back home to us. Lord Tigra! Good morning!
worked.
Hey, it's alright, I'm fine. I can still eat.
No, it's not all right.
So, anyway, what's this all about? You're up bright and early this morning, Ellen.
Oh, that's right. I have to set out for the royal capital of Jigted today. But before I left, I thought I'd see how you were feeling about everything that's happened.
That's a good question.
Once I appease the king, I'll come right back. Come to think of it, I'll need some soldiers. 100 or so.
Already taken care of. Ryurik will lead them.
Ah, good, that's excellent. What's wrong?
My lady Eleonora, why do you place so much trust in the young lord?
Good question. The main reason's simple. He has such an awe-inspiring power. Besides, I don't find him unlikable. And neither do you.
I agree he does have a lot going for him, but I still do not trust him.
That's understandable. Regardless, please help him for me.
Whoa, what's with the outfit?
You're going to the Unavir township, right? Well, I thought I'd come with you. I packed us a lunch.
It's not a vacation. I'm checking in on them to see how they're holding up.
And I can help you.
But Tita...
Please.
Okay. I guess I did give you a scare before. Come on, let's go.
All right.
As a result of both the Thénardier and the Ganelon armies retreating, tranquility fell upon Alsace. However, the peace would be short-lived, for already each side was plotting the next move.
Damn Ganelon! Once he heard my army had been defeated, he pulled back his forces. Now he's waiting to see how I react.
So it would seem, Your Grace.
How soon will the new dragon be ready?
In roughly a month. In the meantime, what shall we do about Count Vorn and the Jigted War Maiden?
We'll use Serish against Vorn.
That infamous band of assassins? He's as good as dead.
As for the girl, we'll fight a War Maiden with a War Maiden.
Are you all okay?
Yes, we're fine thanks to you.
We all hid in the forest just like we were told to do, my lord. And the soldiers walked right past us.
I'm glad to hear that.
Meanwhile, Ellen traveled to Silesia, the royal capital of Jigted, seeking an audience with King Victor.
Lift your head and look at me. Mistress of the Shining Demon Slayer, Eleonora Viltaria. Word has it, you led an army into Brunish land, without even bothering to ask for your king's permission to do so. Is this true?
It is just as you say, Your Majesty.
What reason did you have for this insubordination? Tell me. Based on your response, I will determine a suitable punishment for your reckless actions.
Because I was hired.
What's that? Did you say hired? Hired by whom?
Count Tigra Vermid Vorn, Your Majesty. A nobleman of Brune, and Lord of Alsace.
So what was this Count Vorn's objective? What did he hope to achieve?
He only wanted one thing. Peace in Alsace.
Blatant whitewashing! You would risk drawing my kingdom into a dangerous war, merely so you could act as a mercenary?
If I may. Pardon me, Your Majesty.
Yes, Lady Sophia Obertus. Speak.
For the time being, I believe that Brune has little interest in involving our people in their internal conflict. Though soon, they will want to know what our true intentions are. When they inquire, we We should be prepared to explain our position and what happened with Vorn. While it was indeed improper for her to take action without first gaining permission from your majesty, history has shown us repeatedly that battle always favors haste over caution.
Well, well, of all the people to run into. Going rogue? Starting a war all on your own? I see you're still lacking any self-awareness as a war maiden, Eleonora Viltaria.
And I see you still haven't fully developed yet, Ludmila Lori. Hey, I know. If you drop the attitude and show me some respect, I'd be happy to show you how to enhance your height and ridiculously small breasts.
I don't need your help. Gee, you've become a real smartass lately. I mean, the nerve of you, the embodiment of rudeness and vulgarity, offering to teach anyone anything.
Really?
My, what a pair you two make. How many times do I have to tell you girls not to quarrel with each other?
She started it! Did not you started it!
And by the way, Ellen, what are you still doing here? It seemed to me like you couldn't wait to leave the palace earlier.
Oh, right. Thank you, Sophie. I'm glad you came to my defense back there. I really wasn't looking forward to having to cave in on this.
Cave in? Well, that's a little dramatic, isn't it?
I need to have a word with Sophie now. You can leave.
That poor Count Vorn. I feel sorry for him having to put up with such a brat like you.
Ellen, at the very least I can say that you've turned Ludmila against you with this little stunt.
How so?
Mila has a long and tangled past with Duke Thénardier.
What? Mila and Thénardier, really? But that's absurd.
Yes, it's quite true that she ordinarily wouldn't much care for a man like Duke Thénardier. In fact, it's safe to say she hates him.
Then why?
She's connected to the House of Thénardier. Those ties were formed long before she was born. You know, a young maiden like her would never let her personal feelings stand in the way. It's her duty. Duke Thénardier is not the only enemy that you and Count Vorn are up against.
Ludmila Lori.
Lord Tigra! Lord Tigra! Lord Tigra, it's time to get up! Let's go!
Come, son. Till the soil.
My hands hurt.
Tigra Vermid. We're here to respond in case anything bad happens. We serve so that these people can live out their lives in peace. That's the purpose of a feudal lord.
Father!
Don't forget who you are.
Father! Father! Father!
Father! Tita. Did you sleep okay?
I'm so sorry. I was waiting for the right time to wake you, and then I guess I must have dozed off.
It looks like we were both exhausted, huh? Sorry about that.
Oh no! If anyone should be sorry, it's me!
Don't worry. Thanks to you, I think I figured something out. Come on.
Sure.
What a fine day for hunting. Assuming nothing comes up.
I'll be by your side wherever you go. Just as you've come to my aid in the past, Lord Tigra. Now it's my turn to repay the favor and help you for a change.
Thanks, Tita. And I'll try to do my best, too. No. I will do my best. That horse. It's Lord Marshus.
So then he must be here, right?
Yes.
Perhaps now, Tigra, you could shed some light on what exactly is going on here. Of course, I understand. Lady Lemelicia, I apologize for greeting you and your men with suspicion when you arrived.
No, I apologize. You had every right to act cautiously. You saw foreign soldiers approaching you.
Lord Marshus, sorry to have alarmed you. And so soon after you arrived.
Don't worry about it. Nothing bad happened. Moving on, Tigra.
Yes?
In terms of what comes next.
I'll fight Duke Thénardier and defeat him.
So, you're siding with Duke Ganelon, then?
No. I have no intention of aligning with either of them.
And you came to this decision after thoroughly considering all options?
It's simple. My obligation is to defend Alsace and all the people who call it home. No, it's not just that. I want to defend them. I'm here to respond in case anything bad happens. I'm a feudal lord.
Afterward, Marshus would make his way to Brune's capital to petition the king and endorse the morality of Tigra's cause. Meanwhile, Tigra was going from land to land in search of potential allies.
Marshus informed me of your situation, at least the basics of it. And to be perfectly frank with you, when I first heard the request was coming from you, I declined. Though you may be in the right, there was no way you could defeat Duke Thénardier.
But Lord Augur, we...
There was?
Tigra. Or should I say Count Vorn. Now you not only have Marshus, but also the very distinguished and powerful army of Jicted enlisted among your allies. With them on your side, you could stand against either Duke Thénardier or Duke Ganelon.
So will you join us?
You're well on your way toward becoming a formidable power, right up there with Thénardier and Ganelon. While they swear allegiance to the royal family, they refuse to stay in their rightful place beneath them. Other people have noticed too. I'm not the only one.
The mansion of Kikimora?
It's a villa just past the Vosius Mountains.
Oh good, you made it. Here, drink up. I've got the king's permission for the time being. However, there are a couple of problem areas. For starters, if I come to obtain the land of Alsace, then I'll be required to offer all of it to my kingdom.
By offer it? You mean they'll just seize it? It's my homeland!
Of course that would only be if it becomes her territory first.
This war is just now getting started. We still have plenty of ways to change things up. But there's another issue. The king said this to me right before I left. Be sure that you always put the interests of Jicted first, and act prudently in everything that you do.
What's wrong with that?
You really don't get it, do you?
That order is specifically troubling for us. He emphasized that we prioritize one thing: national interests. It paves the way for other nobles who might have ties to someone like Duke Thénardier. They could say that a win for the Duke would be in Jicted's interest. That could give cover for them taking part in this current war as well.
Do you think someone could interpret it that way?
That's the reason he used those words, to allow for that interpretation. You see, the king doesn't care which side is victorious, long as he stands to benefit from the war either way. Do you see now? A caretaker?
I'll go check.
Despite all that, it's highly unlikely the lower aristocracy will make the first move. Because sitting firmly at the top of our hierarchy is the king, of course, with the 7 war maidens right below him. Then the rest of the nobility. Since those lords are beneath us, none of them has the power to challenge a war maiden directly. The problem is...
The other ones? The war maidens?
Not all the other war maidens are on our side, but they're not enemies either. For now, there's just one we need to worry about.
Who's that?
Oh, she's so annoying. She's always harping on about good manners or character. And on top of all that, she looks just like a shriveled blueberry.
Hey, who are you calling shriveled, jerk?
Lim, why on earth would you let this walking windbag in here?
I couldn't very well turn away a war maiden, now could I?
She's what?
One of the esteemed war maidens of Jukted, mistress of the piercing point of smiting, Ludmila Lori.
Nice to meet you. I'm Tigra Vermit Vorn.
Tigra, this little girl is not a guest. There's no reason for titles and handshakes.
Looks like I was right to check in just in case. I came because I needed to see you. Yes, you, Count Tigra Vermit Vorn. But this isn't the right place. Let's talk somewhere else. Hey, why are you two following us?
You said you wanted to go somewhere else, right? Well, we're on our way to Rodnik now, and Tigra's with us. But you're free to tag along.
So what did you want to talk to me about?
Duke Thenardier has many allies both inside and outside of his kingdom. And that includes myself. You don't stand a chance against him.
A trap?
We're boxed in.
Looks like we've got assassins.
There.
Yes, if they were mere bandits, they would have shown themselves by now. So the question is, which one of us are they after?
You don't mean...
No. I was the one who chose to take this road. But Tigra would make a prime target now for someone. If he were to die here, I'm sure that Thenardier and his people would be dancing for joy. And of course it would mean driving me out of Brune as well.
I find that scenario unpleasant for several reasons. Here they come!
Serish.
Lim!
With this kind of snake, she can still live. Once I suck out the poison, she'll be okay.
Tigra!
Obvious. Shirozem Kafa. Are you done giving first aid? For things to get this out of hand, and all because of one royal subject. Eleonora, you're a failure as a war maiden. I'll go find a doctor. I'll meet you in Rodnik.
Wait, hold on. I thank you for everything. It's okay. Please, Arithal, lend me your strength. Episode 5, The Storming of the Tatra Mountains. Enjoy watching.
You seem like you're recovering well from the snake bite.
Indeed. It's thanks to everyone's quick thinking.
Of course. Ludmila's help getting rid of the assassins is rather confusing, though. As for Tigra, seeing him spring into action like that and suck out the poison to save you was inspirational.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel bad that instead of immediately helping, I just stood there stunned like a statue. I'm sorry.
Don't be sorry, my lady.
Well, since he saved your life, I've decided to give Tigra a reward.
Hmm?
Can you please cover yourself? For modesty's sake.
Do you feel the need to be modest when a dog or a cat sees you naked? And judging by your rather flaccid demeanor, I'm assuming you're not here to ravage me either.
It was an accident. It's my fault for not thinking that someone else might already be using this bath.
Are you sure there's nothing else you want to say?
I'm sorry and I won't do it again.
So how was it? Your bath?
Now don't tell me you set that up.
Huh? Set what up? What's wrong? Does Lady Ludmila of the Proud House of Lori not believe in eating wheat gruel from street vendors?
Of course I don't. I have no appetite for it. And the whole scene is beneath a war maiden's dignity.
Oh, really? Ooh, this looks tasty.
She's such a child.
At me. I'm not exaggerating. Oh, you're really missing out, Mila.
Would you like a serving, Lady Ludmila? I'm trying to apologize again for earlier.
With that? Well, I'll accept the gesture at least. I'm pretty sure who was to blame for the mix-up anyway, so... You know, it's not terrible.
See, I thought you'd like it.
Tigra, what are you doing?
I could ask the same thing of you.
I don't like you giving that shriveled blueberry of a war maiden any special attention.
Shut up and kiss her! Just kiss her, you fool! Count Tigra Vermidvorn.
Huh?
You're a good-hearted man. It's too bad that's all you are. Like a dog, forever at Eleonora's command. I've lost interest in you.
That's your big assessment of him. That's a laugh. Let me translate what you're really saying. I'm a teeny little war maiden who can't see all the things Lord Tigra's actually good for. How sad.
You're pathetic.
Listen, when you get back to Light Merits, the first thing you do is strengthen the border patrol.
You really think the lady would attack?
Just as Ellen predicted, Lady Ludmila immediately began massing her army on the border of Light Merits. With this mobilization, Ellen found herself at a strategic disadvantage, sandwiched between the forces of Duke Thénardier and a fellow war maiden. Such was Thénardier's hope that the mere presence of Ludmila's army would hamstring Ellen's movements and thus keep her forces in check.
Unlike his dimwit son Zion, Duke Felix Thénardier is a competent tactician.
Are you going to fight Ludmila?
I think that's exactly what she wants me to do.
Interesting.
On her own, Lady Ludmila has little to gain from waging war against another war maiden.
But these moves allow her to strengthen the alliance between Thénardier and her Principality of Olmutz. Tigra, you decide what's next.
What, me?
You can take the future into your own hands and strike against Ludmila. Or send troops to Alsace and prepare a defense against Thénardier and Ganelon. I'm leaving it to you.
Let's strike. I have to take an active role in this fight.
As you say.
But we need to make sure we protect Viscount Augur too, now that we're allies. And let's send an envoy to Ludmila first.
Right.
Unfortunately for Tigra, Ludmila promptly rejected the envoy he sent. The forces from Light Merits now advance, while the army from Olmutz braces itself for battle.
Scouts report Lady Eleonora is heading this way, into defeat at my own hands.
My lady, are you sure you want to battle the Wind Princess?
An understanding between the House of Lori and the House of Thénardier has persisted for over 80 years. I will not let it fall apart on my watch. Like my Lavius here, I also carry an ancient pride. Eleonora does not.
The Tatra Mountains stand to the east, overlooking the frozen Flatland Plains. Here, amid the cold and falling snow, The first round of battle began between the two war maidens.
Nice shot, my lord!
These guys don't go down easy.
Battlefield momentum ebbed and flowed for hours, before day one ultimately ended in stalemate, and the two armies withdrew to lick their wounds.
So, what do you think of Ludmila's men?
It doesn't matter how hard you hit them, they get right back up.
I agree. Mila has always been strong on defense. The best of all the war maidens, which is doubly funny because she can be so damn aggressive in person.
Thankfully, I don't recall seeing her fighting in the front lines all that much today.
Well, I'd like to keep it that way.
When all's said and done, she can't beat me in a pitched battle. In the morning, I'll stand at the head of our army, and then I will crush her myself.
Lady Eleonora, what is your current record in one-on-one combat against the lady from Olmutz?
I'm up 2-1.
Yes, but I've heard Ludmila say she has the exact same record against you.
How can that be?
As near as I can tell, one of their duels was a draw. But ever since, both of them have claimed it as one of their wins against the other.
You two just don't get along, do you?
Olmutz and Light Merit's not getting along might as well be an ancient tradition.
How do you mean?
War maidens from the House of Lori. Like Mila's mother and grandmother, they're always hostile.
Mother and grandmother? Are war maidens dynastic?
Not quite. We're chosen by a dragon gear weapon. Well, I'll give you the rest of the history lesson later. In the present, we've got a battle to win.
It's like the Olmutz army was never even here. I believe they've withdrawn into the Tatra Mountains.
She tricked us!
Wait, you think this was a ploy? That Ludmila was planning this move from the beginning?
She wasn't trying to destroy us during yesterday's battle, she was just feeling us out!
High atop the Tatra Mountains is a citadel, with only one way in. Any attacking force will quickly find itself surrounded by well-entrenched defensive fortifications.
Looks like she wants us to lay siege.
The way's frozen over. She did it with her lobbyists to deny us a good position. It's more effective than any moat. I've heard my ancestors also had considerable difficulty with this place. Oh well, I won't let that stop me.
The Light Merit's army surged forward to the citadel, but the Olmutz forces gave no ground. Ellen's men had no choice but to fall back. Once more, the day ended in stalemate.
How many times must I say this? It's a bad idea.
The way this offensive is going, the battle will never end. And if her soldiers don't kill my men, the cold will. So I'll use Arifal's power to fly behind their camp and wipe out Ludmila's whole rotten army.
Lord Tigra, please try to talk her out of this. Her plan's too reckless.
Tigra, whose prisoner of war are you?
I'm yours, my lady.
That's exactly right, which means you should always trust my instincts, obey my orders, and pray for my safety in battle. You understand?
Listen. I hold you in very high regard. I know I've asked you a lot by deciding to meet her in battle. My people are in your debt. So the last thing I'd want is for you to go on a suicide mission.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Are you sure, Tigra? You really truly care that much about me?
Yes, I really do.
I'm your favorite? What's that? What were you just thinking about?
My homeland.
Your heart really does belong to that little province, doesn't it? Well, that's okay. Because after all, both you and Alsace now belong to me.
If you want to get technical.
By the way, if you would have answered my question with the name of another woman, well, let's just say that Arifal here has been known to separate heads from their bodies. So mentioning Alsace was the best way to stay on my good side. Smart man. Ugh.
So are you still going through with your plan?
Give me a better one, and I'll follow it without complaint.
I have an idea, but I'll need another favor. Days in.
Here you go.
A bearskin?
Hey, I heard a story once about a village where the men wore animal skins when they hunted. Just give it a try. It might even save your life.
Hey, it's heavy.
Looks good.
Huh?
I didn't say anything.
Are you sure he'll be okay wearing just that thing?
Oh, I'll be fine. And I promise, I will find another path for us to that citadel. I still have water, but I need to find food.
Take it that's your arrow?
Lady, aren't you cold dressed like that?
I'm well adapted to this climate. I think I'll be fine. You walked a long way to get to this spot, didn't you? How many paces away did you shoot this animal? There's no way you're that good of a shot. Don't lie to me, commoner. I'm sorry, sir. I guess I shouldn't have doubted that you're skilled with a bow.
She can actually be quite nice.
You can take that off now. We're inside where it's warm. As long as you're in my presence, the biting cold and snow shouldn't be a problem for you.
According to the laws of my village, I'm not to remove this suit while on the hunt in the mountains.
Well then, that's too bad. Tell me your name.
It's Urs. Are you a war maiden, my lady?
Yes, I am. And you don't seem that surprised by it either. Well, I don't mind. Thanks to your great skill with the bow and arrow, I'll look past your blunt manners. I have an idea. You should come and serve in my court, Urs. Like I was getting at, a man with your talent is rare. You could make a good living.
I came to the Tatra Mountains from a distant land. I won't turn my back on my home for any amount of riches.
I see. That's too bad.
Besides, aren't you worried I might be a spy?
That's a weird thing for you to bring up now. You can relax. I believe a great bow hunter like yourself could make it this far, but a common soldier or spy doesn't have a chance. I know. Go on, try it.
It's good.
Glad you like it. Tea's the best, isn't it? Warms the body and the soul.
She's smiling? I didn't know she was capable of that.
What's the matter, Urs? Tell me.
It's nothing. Now tell me, why's a war maiden out alone up here?
Looking for fun. It sounds weird to say that out loud.
If there's something you want to say, I'm a very good listener. Whatever you need to get off your chest, It's like the old fable about the frustrated man who yells into a tree hollow.
You know, I never expected to meet a bear up here, and let alone one as nice as you. When I was chosen to be a war maiden, I thought I was ready to shoulder all of its responsibilities. But for the good of my country, that means being bound by old ties to people I hate. So in the name of tradition, I told myself I had to bury my true feelings. And I thought that I was right, but now I'm not so sure. Goodbye and safe hunting, Urs! I won't forget you! And if you ever feel like visiting me, you're welcome any time at the palace in Olmutz.
This isn't good. Once the sun goes down, I won't be able to follow her tracks anymore. I found it. The alternate route to the Citadel.
All right, men! Almost there!
Her guard detail in the rear is light. If we can just get in there, even 100 of us.
This is more than I expected. Maybe she grew cautious after meeting a stranger in a bear suit.
So what are we supposed to do, turn back?
No. If we give up now, we're doing exactly what the enemy wants. We have to assume that while we're up here, Thénardier may be closing in on Alsace. I'm taking down this citadel tonight!
Ellen, wait!
Dragon who brings victory be with us this night! You just ruined my chance to hit them again!
Come on! They were about to turn you into a pincushion!
There's no other way in! Or have you forgotten that?
It's no use. Now they know we're here.
We have to keep trying. There's no time, not for you or for Alsace!
Let me think. There has to be a move left. Think! Arifal!
What?
Please, Arifal, lend me your strength. I know that Ellen is the only master to whom you answer. There is no physical or spiritual connection between us. But just this once, lend me your strength.
Two-timer.
All right, here we go.
The mighty citadel at the top of the Tatra Mountains has been breached. The next round in the battle between war maidens begins.
振り払うより指先へとみなぎる力を知らせながらあの魔法を狙い声かけ限りなく勇気をただ立ち向かえばいい勝ち目なくとも覆せるさこの矢は外さない高鳴る風よくの君を運命さえも打つ
I need to use my dragon art. But can I? Episode 6, The Black Knight. Watch carefully.
Eleonora! Certainly a direct approach, just barging in here uninvited.
I've been looking for you.
Is the militia all right?
Yes, I left her in charge of the main contingent.
I see. So have you come to stage another graceless display? Is that your plan?
No, actually, I came here to thank you for earlier. I do appreciate what you did back there. Though since I'm here, I'd like to offer you the gift of defeat. I hope you'll accept it with open arms.
I must decline.
That's too bad.
Nice try, Eleonora, but you can't run from this! Freeze through even the sky!
Mow her down, Arendelle! Lay angle! I know you're used to always looking down on people, Mila. How's it feel to have someone looking down on you for a change?
You sure have a smart mouth.
Run her through! Oh, man! Slice her to pieces, Arendelle!
My god, this is how two war maidens fight.
Maiden! We're here!
Stay back! This is my fight, and it'll be over soon.
Got that right. Let's finish this.
Here I come!
She said stay back! Serish?
Tigra!
That man. Ursus.
Which one was he after?
Why'd you choose to save me, Urs? Given your skilled mastery of the bow, you could have let the Serish kill me, and easily taken him out afterwards, correct?
Consider it a thank you.
For what?
That tea you gave me was pretty good. And I'm not just saying that because you're a war maiden. I've never known anyone to brew it better.
All right, Count Thorn. Tea aside, just what is it that you want from me?
All I ask of you is that you remain neutral.
You don't want me as an ally?
No, I do. Of course. But I have nothing to offer you in return. You'd only stand to lose.
Well, what do you hope to gain through all of this?
Alsace alone is already too much for me. As long as it's peaceful there, I'll be happy.
Wow. You really mean that, don't you?
Of course.
Listen, Count Thorn. Sincerity may be important, but still, it can't solve everything. However, for once, I'm actually going to trust my feelings on this.
Huh?
Let it be known that in the current Brunish Civil War, I will not be providing Duke Thénardier with any assistance. Will that do?
Yes, and thank you.
As promised, Ludmila committed to a position of neutrality. She even pledged reparation for all losses resulting from their warfare.
That's all well and good, Tia.
And so Ellen no longer has to worry about her own land and can concentrate fully on the war with Thénardier.
Out, Pipsqueak!
You watch your mouth!
However, as though predicting this development, Thénardier plotted his next move. Armed with a royal decree from the king, he sends a secret weapon into battle.
That's him! He's coming for us! You filthy Sarstein rats! See, you've yet to learn your lesson and have come to blemish my great homeland again! Dear God of War, grant us protection! Protection!
Brune's mightiest Black Knight, Roland, wielder of the invincible sword Durandal. Once he assumed command of the Order of Navarre, Brune's western border grew impenetrable.
What do you have there, Roland? An order from His Majesty to put down the insurgent. The insurgent? And who is that? The Count of Alsace, Tigra Vermidvorn.
A month had passed since the battle with Olmütz concluded, and Tigra, together with a Shikted force of 5,000 knights, returned to Brunish territory.
If you hadn't managed to get Olmütz to back down like you did, then the security of my land would have been beyond my control. Sir Tigra Vermid, how can I ever repay you for this?
There's no need. We're allies, aren't we?
What about my soldiers? They may be rough, but what they lack in refinement, they make up for in number. Please, put them to good use.
I will, sir. Thank you.
Tigra began moving his army to the west end of Territoire. He was establishing a base of operation in the region closest to Nemetacum, which was under the control of Duke Thénardier.
All right, Lim, let's hear you say it.
The silver meteor... Do I have to do this?
Tita.
The silver meteor storm!
You
See that? The name just rolls right off her tongue, like it fills her with pride. So why can't you get on board with the official name of our new army, Lim?
Because a silly name like that will do nothing to boost morale. We can't call ourselves that on the battlefield.
Well, the usual options are taken. The Allied Army or the Union Army. And we can't use our name since no one can agree whose would go first. So we're the Silver Meteor Storm, and it's great. Right, Tigra?
Are you seriously not going to say something, Lord Tigra? This is your army! Stand up for yourself!
A little help, Tita?
What do you expect me to do about it?
Lord Tigra! I apologize for interrupting this important meeting. But sir, another fight's broken out.
Again? What is it this time?
The thing is, I'm not entirely sure.
I'll be right back, okay?
You should be getting used to this by now, so hurry up and get back here.
I'll warm up your dinner again.
It's fine. Your food always tastes good to me, Tita. Even when it gets cold.
It's calm enough on the surface, but throwing together this many soldiers from all over is bound to cause some friction.
It's been a while since Lord Masha's left for Nice. We haven't received any word from him. I hope he's been able to deliver Lord Tigra's petition to King Farron without incident.
I love Lord Mashas. I pray nothing bad has happened to him.
Hey! I would have joined this army if I knew I'd fight side by side with you, weasels! Bastard!
Break it up!
You want some of this? Come and get it!
You're gonna be sorry when I pound your face in!
Knock it off!
That's enough! What's the reason for all of this?
You mean they were fighting over the shape of a cloud? Well, that's a new one.
Some from Jicted, some from Brune. We're a pretty mixed-up hodgepodge of an army. There's bound to be bickering.
I just hope next time you'll shoot off another one of those arrows.
This is Saunier. It's in the center of all the villages in this region. As a result, it's the heart of both commerce and gossip for everyone around.
There seem to be a lot of outsiders here, too.
Then hopefully we can glean at least a little information about the capital.
It's because of you, Lord Augur, that we're all here. Food or water, anything that we villagers can do to help your cause, we gladly will.
That's very kind of you.
Thank you so much. And of course we're going to pay you for everything.
You finished much sooner than I expected you would.
It all went very smoothly.
Although I wish we could have gotten some news about the capital, too.
I know, that is a bit of a shame.
So what's next on the schedule?
Well, I think I'll be heading back to my estate now.
Well, let me see you off.
Nonsense, young lord. I simply won't hear it. Huh? This village is a rare treat. Enjoy it before you have to leave. See, look. There are all sorts of shops here to amuse a youngster like you. Ooh, look at that.
I'll tell you what, if I'm going to relax anywhere, it'll be here. What the? Hey, aren't you... You're Ellen's pet. It's Looney, right? Huh? Hey, wait a second!
There you are, Looney. Don't you fly away from me!
Oh my goodness. I hope that I didn't hurt you.
Who are you?
Sophie? You have any luck finding Looney yet?
Yes, I sure did.
Oh.
You see, Looney's right up there. Very pleased to meet you, Lord Tigravermid. I'm one of the 7 War Maidens, Sophia Obertus. But please feel free to call me Sophie.
And you can just call me Tigra. I'm sorry about our awkward encounter earlier.
Well, that was my first time ever being held by a gentleman, which is why I was startled. I was brought here to this land to deal with some official business. His Majesty grows impatient with the increasingly inexcusable conduct of Brune in this war, so the king sent me here to act as his diplomatic envoy.
So, Lady Sophia, might I inquire what response you received from the royal palace in Brune? Were they reasonable or not?
To be perfectly frank, the reception was less than ideal.
Meaning what?
When I arrived at the palace, I was informed the King of Brune had unfortunately fallen ill, so I was unable to meet with him. All I could do was leave word of our formal position.
And what might that be?
You made them aware that I had merely been hired by Tigra, and that the Kingdom of Jicted was in no way involved with our effort?
That's right. And the Brunish royal court asked me to bring a message to you, Ellen, so that you could deliver it to Lord Tigra.
To me?
We do hereby accuse Count Vorn of the crime of treason, and as such strip him of his title and all rights and privileges that come with being a count and Brunish nobleman. Temporarily, the province of Alsace will be considered under His Majesty's control. They will briefly govern themselves until this turmoil subsides, at which time a magistrate will be dispatched from the royal capital.
Accused of treason?
I believe, Lord Tigra, that in time, a messenger will come to you directly from the palace with more information. But until that day, perhaps you should ask Lord Mashus for details. He'll be more helpful to you than I.
Lord Mashus?
What a small world. How do you know Lord Mashus?
We met back in the Brunish capital. He told me he had to return to his own territory first. So I came here alone.
Thank goodness! Lord Mashus is all right. I was so worried.
They're calling me a traitor.
Where do the other War Maidens stand?
Well, Mila's her usual self.
Indeed.
As for Elizaveta, she maintains conventional ties with both Duke Thénardier and Duke Ganelon. Valentina's principality is far enough removed from Brune that she shouldn't be a concern for now. And Olga's whereabouts are unknown.
She's missing?
She went on a journey with nothing but her dragon gear.
And I imagine Sasha is ill as usual.
For now, I think it's safe to say the other War Maidens won't intervene the way Mila did. At the moment, I'm much more concerned about how Brunishmen will react to Lord Tigra now that he's been branded a traitor.
Brunishmen?
Yes. For instance, I'm thinking of regiments that serve directly under Brune's king.
It seems the Order of Navarre is fast approaching us. Roland, the Order's captain, is leading the march himself. He bears the title of Black Knight. They say he's the greatest swordsman in all of Brune.
Oh right, Roland. Even I've heard of him before.
Wow. If Backwoods Tigra knows about this knight, he must really be something.
At 13, Roland became a knight, and ever since then, he's been undefeated. When he was assigned to the Order of Navarre, the king bestowed upon Roland the sword Durandal, a national treasure.
But royal knights swear their allegiance to His Majesty. So we'll only take orders from King Farron.
I may as well send a messenger to try to reach out.
Despite this overture, the Order of Navarre's will to fight remained unwavering. The messengers sent by Viscount Augur, as well as one sent by Tigre, were both turned away.
Gentlemen, I was under the impression that the enemy was Duke Thénardier or Duke Ganelon. So why does a knightly order now come at us with swords drawn?
And it doesn't matter how closely they're working in concert with us. There's simply no justification for deferring to a foreign army instead of fighting with our fellow Brunishmen.
That's foolish. You'd rather rely on the Order of Navarre than throw our lot in with the Jicted army?
You know the barbarity of Thénardier, and Ganelon's lawlessness. These aren't issues that sprang up yesterday. Where have these knights been all this time? They've done nothing to stop this madness.
You're not wrong, but
but that's because the knights are sworn to operate only under direct orders from the king.
Well, we'll fight. All of us will. We'll stand up for ourselves.
I have to side with the young lord on this. That's what we're doing here, what this is all about. And if the knights will not aid us, we will call for Zicted. Justice is due.
The Silver Meteor Storm took position in the center of the Orange Plains. Across from them, the Order of Navarre assumed a spear wall formation.
Exterminate all enemies of the crown! Follow behind my sword and charge!
Lim, you're in command now!
It's been a while since anyone withstood my sword. And what do they call you?
I am one of the 7 War Maidens, Eleonora Viltaria.
In all of Sarstein and all of Asvar, I've never encountered a warrior like this. Is it possible that a girl such as her could... My name is Roland, Captain of the Order of Navarre. Listen, War Maiden. I do not know your reason for being here, but I won't stand for interlopers. You've entered Brune without permission. Withdraw immediately!
No, you fool! Stop! I have to do something! I need to use my dragon art. But can I against a human?
Ellen! You fool! Not at this distance! Take it! You can't hide! So then, he didn't miss. This was what he was aiming for.
You really saved me back there. Bet you stunned the hell out of him with that shot. Tigra? Tigra! Sophie! Just leave this to me. They're all yours!
That's quite an army.
Now gather before me. O shining surge, Valverna!
Alright, fine. You want resolve? I'll show you. Episode 7, To Protect.